Hello and welcome to UC Today. My name is David Dungay. Today I'm joined by Mr. Craig Durr. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Everyone, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm fantastic, thank you. I used to refer to you as Mr. Collaboration, but you've got a few things going on at your side right now, Craig. I'm hearing some rumours. Tell me what is
What?
going on in Craig Durr's world right now.
Well, we were joking before we got on. The little ragged look is because I've been in stealth mode for the last 2 months, but I am about to share with the world, and this is a great opportunity to share it, that I'm very excited to be launching a new analyst firm, and it's going to go by the name of the Collab Collective. Pretty unique name, but yeah, I'm excited
Collab
about that.
Collective, Craig? So tell us. I can almost guess, but tell us, what does Collab Collective do? What are you all about?
Well, so as many of you guys know me as being an analyst and researcher in this space, and I'm going to continue doing that work because these are the people and the technologies and the devices and things that I really get excited about. And you're going to continue seeing me doing that. So I'll do research analysis. I'll be helping vendors in terms of driving better decisions, as well as helping to reach more people. And I'll be helping IT buyers and decision makers understand what those solutions are in this space as well. I'm going to focus on what I call workplace collaboration and communication. That's not a far stretch from what we've talked about in the past. But that ecosystem is evolving, and I'm also going to start including the technology and the solutions around customer experience and employee experience. So you and I know from talking to the vendors, a lot of that technology is the same under the hood, but those use cases are different. And I think it's important to help both people on the side of the equations, the vendors that are delivering it, as well as those buyers and those end users. What are the right solutions that help fit for their needs and use cases? So that's the work I'm going to be doing. Now, I call it the Collab Collective. So the collective idea behind this is actually there is a network of people helping me behind this. So not only do I have a creative agency and a marketing agency help me as well, and a couple of writers as well too. But the idea is that as a collective, I want to make sure this winds up being a great two-way process, that it's a collaboration between the technology providers and myself, or it's a collaboration between those IT buyers and myself. I think too often in my industry, people kind of stand on a pulpit and they say, this is the way the world looks. And I think it's works for many instances, but there's a lot to learn when we start sharing our ideas and our ins and outs and what's taking place. And that's the approach we're taking. We're going to be collaborative in this
Yeah.
collective process to help bridge that gap.
Well, I mean, there is a rather large event on the horizon where all of these people in the industry and from the end user business community congregate. That is, of course, Infocomm. I know you're sort of building to a bit of a crescendo at Infocomm. So tell us, Craig, what are you doing at the show this year? What are you excited about?
So you're right. Infocom, I'm glad they threw this party for me as my coming out event. It was very nice of the industry to get together. Now, actually,
Well
this,
timed.
this is one of the best opportunities to see friends and colleagues and see new technology. Infocom is one of my top events for the year, as yours as well too. And you're coming across the pond too, right? We're going to see each other, right?
I certainly am. I'll be over in Las Vegas as well, and I'm very much looking forward to it. It is the event where you get to touch, feel, and play with all the gadgets and toys,
No.
and technology is fantastic.
I can't spend enough time on that expo floor. But I'm not only doing that, I'm actually fortunate enough to be hosting two panels at this event. And I think they're going to really tie into your audience and our audience as well, too. The first one we call Demystifying Multi-Camera Solutions. With what's taking place in these rooms, and people have to reinvent the idea of these large, high impact spaces. And how do you make that return to office work? Multi cameras is becoming very popular, right? You see Microsoft Teams, you see Zoom, the UC platforms are providing it. But the question is, there's multiple solutions. You see some where people have a center of table camera, and you see sometimes where people have cameras on the outside looking in. So I'm fortunate to have three of the top vendors in this space. I've got Crestron, Logitech, and Neat, and we're all going to sit around and we're going to help demystify. And here's the insider tip. No single solution works for that. The idea is that there's use cases for both of these type of scenarios. So we're going to talk through that to help these pro AV people as well as the UC people in the audience help understand what's probably the optimal use case or the optimal solution for what they need in those high impact rooms. So that's the first one. That's going to be an
Well,
exciting one.
let, let's just delve into that one before we go on to your second talk. I mean, why are we seeing the prevalence of high impact spaces now? What we used to categorize these things. We have large rooms, we have small rooms, and then we
Yeah.
had huddles. Now we've got these high impact spaces. What's driving that? Why are these so important right now
Yeah.
for businesses?
It's I think it has everything to do with what our world looks like as we came out of the pandemic and the idea of how we are more open to virtual collaboration with everyone else. Now, high impact spaces traditionally kind of would have been the corporate boardroom. Think about, this is where Pro AV comes in. We need to have someone who actually can install audio, video, control, AV over IP, all that in that space. But it also impacts things like town halls and other large rooms to present. So as we're more decentralized and we have more workers elsewhere, but we want to share that information, these high impact spaces become important, and having high production value in those spaces becomes a key element. Can I see everyone in the room? Can I talk? Can I hear everyone in the room? Are there hot zones where all of a sudden someone is presenting and I know that that's the active speaker and I can follow them by a whiteboard or by a podium? So these spaces are getting refreshed to align with those UC platforms that are more common now for across these organizations. And then they're also being updated to adapt to these dynamic styles of collaboration.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating one actually. That production value, I think, because um, from a personal point of view, I think the whole world, got used to saying, "Oh, as long as I can hear you, that's okay. The image doesn't matter." And I think that's what you started at the high impact or the large rooms.
Yep.
I think that's going to filter down. That production value is coming down. It is important for people. It does add to that experience in the office or in the
Yeah.
office, if you like. And I think it's really important. But talking of experience, you've got another session as well, which kind of looks at that experience and how AI is impacting that meeting room experience. What's going on there?
I do. So the second session is on a topic that not many people are talking about these days. It's about AI. I'm not sure if you heard about that one, but we're gonna.
Might have heard about it.
Yeah. So right. I mean, there's a little fatigue in the air about the idea of AI, but we wanted to get to some practical understandings of what that means. So I've got some industry experts, and we're going to sit on stage, and the session's called Understanding AI in the Meeting and in the Experience in the meeting spaces. And we're going to be talking about what does it mean to implement AI in a practical sense in these large meeting rooms and small meeting rooms and even around the office. I've got some industry stalwarts there. I'm going to have Microsoft on stage. I'm going to have Webex. I'm going to have Zoom on stage. I'm also going to have QSys there representing some of the hardware vendors as well too. And we're going to talk about different tiers of AI, everything from starting with voice and video AI to the idea of what's taking place in the room and having awareness to personal assistants. Copilots, maybe you've heard of those. Everyone's got AI companion. There's a lot of different tools and technologies out there to help with that. And so again, we're hoping to create a framework in our in the mind of everyone, what's taking place as they speak to what AI means in implementing it. And frankly, this both these sessions are going to be awesome, and I think they're going to be standing room only. But I've got Ilya from Microsoft Liechtenstein. I've got Espen Loberg from the WebEx team coming over from Oslo, John Stearns from the Zoom team, Jason Mosh from QSys. These are some industry people that when they speak, people take note. And so I think it's going to be great. And everyone is excited about this topic. It's funny. We got in our prep calls. It's a really collaborative group, which is exciting. This is not going to be any chairs thrown across the stage with these guys. It's going to be practical advice about how we can help utilize AI in these meeting environments.
I think that's really important, actually. That point, you're bringing AI to life, and you make it tangible for the audience as well, and how they can implement it within their own business. And that's happening here and now. It's not some nebulous concept we're all looking at in the future. So
No,
I'm looking forward to that one as well. I'm going to be there in the room taking notes, I'm sure.
I think there's going to be some great information shared. And by the way, if you are with the Avixa education program, both of these sessions do have CTS credits. So you do wind up getting a credit. I think these are either towards CTSD or CTI, CTS. I think we'll have to double check that. But there's credits for this. So learn, have fun, see your colleagues. These are going to be great sessions. Tuesday, one is at Tuesday at 1 p.m. in Pacific time. The other one's Wednesday at 1 p.m. So look up those.
Fantastic. Well, I'm very much looking forward to that, Craig. There is one more thing we should mention, though, Craig. We have an ongoing, exciting announcement. Ourselves, UC Today, and Craig Durr in collaboration. Tell us, what are we going to be doing, Craig? Tell our audience about this collaboration.
I'm really excited that you're bringing that up. That wasn't prompted at all, was it? We are actually in the process of bringing out a new webcast series that UC Today is going to be hosting. The Collaboration Collective is going to help bring in the guest and talk about it. It is called Let's Talk About Collaboration. And it's actually going to be a great idea. I mean, when you and I were talking about your audience, and David, you said, hey, you know what, Craig, we've got half the audience that is on the technology side, the vendor side, and we have half the audience, it's IT buyers. And you and I were brainstorming of what can we bring to this conversation? And I'm like, well, let's land right in the middle. Let's talk to the people that have great insights to what's taking place in the end user side. And this might be the IT administrator or the decision maker, and who also can speak up to the vendors. And so I've got some people that are either partners in channel, IT decision makers, and we're going to talk about what do you want to educate? What do you want to talk to those end users about? And what do you want to talk to those vendors about? So we're going to talk collaboration and be a bridge between these two audiences. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I have to admit to you, it's not going to be all straight lace. We're going to have some laughs and chuckles, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. First
It's going
episode's
to
going to
be
be
fantastic.
yeah, first episode's coming up pretty soon, and we've got Danny Hayasaka, who's going to come in from Call One and share with us some insights. And then the second episode we have queued up is going to be a gentleman who works as a CTO with a large consulting agency, to be named, and he's going to wind up talking to us about how he manages end users. He's one of these great what if guys. What if we did this? And he bridges those conversations, which makes it so much fun.
Yeah, it's really, really important point that to stress. Actually, these end users that are at the cold face every day, they're in these experience rooms. They're deploying their technology. They're helping drive adoption with these organisations.
Right.
We really want to get to the heart of what is on their mind, what do they need, what are they thinking about on a day-to-day basis, and how can we educate our vendor audience as much as the other way around as well. So I'm really excited about that. I think there's lots to come out of that ongoing collaboration between us. So Craig, if people want to come and find your Infocomm, how do they do it? How do they get hold of the mighty Craig Durr?
So, of course, Infocomm does have that registration service where you can connect with people on a social level. But at the same time, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Twitter, X, at Craig Durr is both of those. Our new website is actually just going live probably this week. So it's the collab-collective.com. And of course, I'm going to be around the show. I've kind of gotten lucky being known to doing a lot of these social media videos that I do on the show floor, where we're going to see about new product launches, catch up with old friends. So hopefully there'll be some great coverage that I can share alongside with what you guys are going to be doing too at UC Today.
Absolutely. We'll be on the show floor talking to analysts, end users, vendors, and everyone else who's there as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Craig, I think that's a great place to end today's discussion. I'm really excited for Infocomm. I think our audience is as well. I look forward to seeing you there, and I look forward to seeing our audience there as well. Thank you so much for joining me.
I promise the audience I'm a shave. I'm going to be better presented next time. Stealth mode's over. We're ready to see everyone, and I'm excited about it too. Thanks, David.
Fantastic. Take care, Craig, and I'll see you then.